Okay, now we have our student address, and I would like to invite Marija Glišić, who has just gotten her Master of Science in Health Sciences specialization in clinical epidemiology, to address the students this year. Marija, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Before I start, I would like to thank NIHES for giving me this honor to give the speech today on behalf of all students. Then I would like to congratulate to everyone. This is really a great achievement. And then I would like to thank our friends and families, supervisors, and mentors, and NIHES for being with us in the previous year, because without you, this wouldn't be possible. Thank you all. When I found out that I'm going to give the speech today, I was thinking what should be the topic. Then, with the help of my mentor, Professor Oscar Franco, I came up with this idea to tell you about the 10 commandments of successful NIHES experience. So, in my own name and on behalf of all the students, based on previous interactions and what I heard from them, I decided to point out what would be kind of a key for successful master experience here. Next one, please. In the past year, I had the opportunity to meet people from all over the world. One of the most beautiful things about it is that you actually get to know other cultures. You learn how to behave in presence of people from another part of the world. But besides the fact that interaction with foreigners actually improve our professional development, it's also very important for our development as human beings. Because the communication, getting to know other culture, improves the way how we communicate, and the cultural awareness is like a foundation of communication. Next one, please. It's not very easy to study in European Union, especially for us who come from the countries that are not members yet. However, what I get to know in the past year is that there are many initiatives from European Commission and also from governments from different parts of the world who are trying to give some scholarships for people like us who are not from European Union and give us opportunity to study here. One of the scholarships like that is ERAWeb. That is a scholarship for Western Balkan countries. I was happy, or let's say lucky enough, to get this scholarship for the first time in 2012 when I was here as an undergraduate student. And the previous year I came back here again as a PhD exchange student. During the period of 5 years, almost 300 students from 5 different Balkan countries had an opportunity to study here. NIHES did everything to encourage and facilitate our studying process here. Also, we were provided with the international environment. We had the opportunity to learn from one of the most distinguished professors from all over the world. And we are very grateful for that. Next one. All these people, students that I met in the past year, I was wondering why. When we come here, we are all young, enthusiastic, and we are all, let's say, smart enough to learn. However, not every student is successful enough or equally. So some students keep being more successful as compared to others. And I was wondering, what is the reason? And the first thing that came up to my mind was the mentorship. Most of us are going to continue our careers as PhD students. Some of you already started your PhDs. And every time we wonder who would be a perfect mentor for us, a person to guide us through this journey. Most of the people, when they choose mentor, they just choose the person that is actually the most famous in the area that they would like to study. And that is a good approach, but it's not always the best. When I was thinking what are the criteria to successful relation with your future mentor, I came up with 2 of them. Next one, please. First one is scientific ability, and The other one is you should follow your curiosity. Knowledge is curiosity-driven. However, when it comes to scientific curiosity, I would define it like doing a science for your personal pleasure. However, it's not the same like science literacy, which means doing a science for a specific goal. And at the beginning, we all have specific goals. It doesn't matter, is it a master degree or Doctor of Science degree or your PhD degree. Somehow, on this way, we lose our own interest in science. We do the science that our mentors want us to do. And to be successful, you should at least try to find a balance between your own curiosity and your goals. Next one. This one is one of my favorites. You should not acknowledge anything that is not evidence-based. Most of the students here are medical doctors, and you all know what is the importance of evidence-based medicine for you and for your patients as well. Actually, recently I realized that we are the one who are creating evidences. We are the one who are going to create future evidences, and we are going to influence global health. From some point of view, this is really beautiful. We can contribute to the science and to global health in general. However, it's a bit scary at the same time, because in 5 or 10 years, somewhere over the world, there will be a clinician who is going to read guidelines that are based on the evidences that some of us provided. This is a huge responsibility. But also it's very motivational, and every time when I feel blue, I always remember this. Next one. Yeah, you should not steal, neither commit fraud. Well, I'm not gonna talk about these more severe kind of frauds, but what I did witness in the past is a sloppy science. And this is, I think, the most important thing to keep in mind. We should do our work properly. We all have deadlines, different kind of pressures, but we should just try to do it correctly. Rules are there to be respected. Next one. You should love yourself. This one is probably one of the most difficult. However, I read recently that 1 in 2 PhD students experience psychological distress, while 1 in 3 PhD students suffer from depression. And in the past year, I witnessed many breakdowns, even my own and my colleagues from the office and from the State Department. And yeah, it's not easy, and it takes a lot of time to understand how we can fight with this, how we can try to find like the easiest way to overcome this, but it's not always easy. But it scares me a bit. There are 4 people in my office, so I should be one of them for sure. Next one. You shall not hurt yourself, neither your superiors. When we start our PhD or master program, we have a plan and we know how to do it. However, meanwhile, the life happens and we have many breakdowns, wrong scripts, wrong variables used. Even if we did everything correctly, then we get the wrong p-value, and it's just frustrating. My supervisor once told me, more you hate me, more successful you will be. I still hate him, but I'm waiting for success, for sure. But to be honest, we should appreciate these kind of supervisors who try to push us to our limits, to try to make us give our best. Next one. Your colleague is not your enemy. Keep it close to your heart and far away from your data. Yeah, well, this is about trust. In science, you cannot work independently. We are all members of different teams, different research groups, and the trust is the cornerstone of a successful team, aside with respect. And when you look around yourself, you should just wonder how many of the people around you you trust, or you can trust, or you did trust in the past. Next one. Honor your teachers, your colleagues, and all your co-workers. Some of the people I know constantly try to feel other people inferior, and that's a really it's a not nice feeling. And we all know these kind of people, especially during our big meetings, asking tricky questions with best intentions that are not always the best. However, only a person who forgot what is the difference between knowledge and experience will ever have a need to make you feel inferior. And you should always keep that on your mind. Next one. Remember the weekend. 5 days you should labor and do all your work, but the weekend is your own short-term rehab. We start our journey as a PhD candidate. However, somehow, on the way, we end up as a PhD survivor. And during this journey, we usually walk all by ourselves. At least, I know it's difficult. I'm the first one who is working almost every weekend. But really, if we want someone to be there once when we defend our PhD thesis, we should keep our friends, we should keep our social life as well. Next one. The best thing about Erasmus Medical Center is that you will never feel lonely. It doesn't matter if it's Sunday evening or Saturday night, there will always be someone out there. And it's really helpful because you are not the only one. Also, I would like to take this opportunity to thank my supervisor one more time for making me stay longer, because during the past year, I have many pictures of different sunsets from my window, and it's like, I appreciate it a lot, Tauland. Thank you. Next one. Oh, this one is probably the most difficult, but yeah, how to deal with this. This should be a kind of positive anyway, But what I always say, at least you can brag that you know the person. We all have our goals and we all wish to publish high, and envy is not healthy. And the last one, yeah, this is the additional one, and I hope you're going to party hard or celebrate today with your loved ones, because we really, really, really deserved it. Thank you very much.